They told me to follow in his footsteps. When you're an 18-year-old man on a college campus and you just had your eyes open for the first time to the realities of violence against women, men's role in perpetrating it, and men's responsibility to end it, you're left spinning. And if you're like me, you're desperate for a mentor, a friend, anyone who can help you on your walk. I spoke with folks on campus, and they told me to talk to him. He was a year or two older than me, but it was obvious he was the person to emulate as I tried to unlearn all that I knew about what manhood means. It was uncomfortable at first. Until this point in my life, I hadn't had all that many male friends or male role models. I could probably count them on one hand. Plenty of men shy away from emotional bonds with other men for fear of being thought weak or gay. This wasn't that. This was never fitting in with my male peers because I did show emotion, never fitting in because I did cry, never fitting in because I would back down in the face of a fight. And every time I was told, real men don't do that. So it was uncomfortable at first, this uncharted territory of male friendship. But like him, I joined a new weekly men's group to try and unpack and unlearn and undo all the years of being told that what it meant to be a man was to be cold, calculating, hurtful, harmful, and distant. In doing so, I finally found a space where I could be accepted, a space where I could feel safe, a space where I belonged. And so I clung to it for dear life. I watched older group members and tried to model myself after them, all of them, but he was the one who stood out. Another straight white man, barely older than me, proudly strutting around campus in his "This is what a feminist looks like" t-shirt. Both of us struggling with the vast amount of unearned societal privilege we hold. Both coming to terms with the history of violence of our race and our gender. Each of us reflecting on the oppressor that we saw when we looked in the mirror. We were walking the same walk, and so they told me to follow him. And I did, not knowing yet where that might lead. And all of us, the brothers in this group, walked together, and we grew together, we faced down demons and owned up together. And we kept walking out from campus and into the world, no longer together, but seemingly on the same path. And then she told me, he's not the man you think he is. And I stopped in my tracks. He's not the man you think he is. We hadn't been walking side by side, this brother of mine, a wolf in feminist clothing, masquerading as a social justice activist, claiming to heal the world while harming those he was closest to. He's not the man you think he is. I had never felt betrayal like learning that he had co-opted my words and my thoughts and my beliefs to win her trust. If he's not who I thought he was, then who the hell am I? And as I reflected on the oppressor that I still saw in the mirror, I wondered how I missed it. How could I fail to see that someone so close to me, a brother, a mentor, a friend, was claiming to walk the same walk when he was skulking in the shadows of a double life? I was filled with rage. How can you preach one thing to your peers and then be off at a bar convincing the bartender to overserve women and give you a signal when she's drunk enough? How can you leverage a language of feminism and equality and justice to take something that was not freely given to you? How on earth can you go against everything we believe in, both of us, all of us, trying to do better, trying to be better, trying to make the world better? How could you? And as the anger dulled from a white-hot rage to a slow burn, it was then I started to remember things. I remembered when I saw him devalue or disparage his college girlfriend when she wasn't around. And it never sat quite right, but in my head it was always, this man is my brother. Look at the good work he's done. This is what a feminist looks like. I remembered when he unleashed his violent temper, instant rage at the slightest provocation. This man is my brother. Look at the good work he does. This is what a feminist looks like. I remembered how I noticed the signs and how I stayed silent. The greatest straight white male privilege of all, the privilege of staying silent. But it was more than just that. It was the finally feeling accepted and not wanting to risk rejection. And I've been carrying around this guilt of noticing and walking away for close to a decade now, hating myself for knowing that maybe if I had said something, done something, it all could have been different. Hearing the pain in my friend's voice as she told me that she never wanted me to confront him or tell anyone what he had done, knowing that he's shielded by his reputation, all the good he's done, a reputation that I affirmed time and time again, I couldn't blame her. Who would believe a survivor's truths in the face of the lies that he had been living for so long? To think she was silenced by the fact that so many thought, like I did, that this isn't what a male feminist looks like. And so when she said not to tell anyone, I didn't, I still haven't, and I won't. Instead, I will just keep walking this path that he so long ago abandoned, and I'll make sure not to follow in his footsteps, because I've seen where they lead.